Helter Skelter is one of my favorite Beatles songs of all time. You can hear that the first time I listened to the White Album, which was about 2 years ago. I think I have a video up still about it, and you cannot deny that this song is inspirational. A lot of people know it as the first official heavy metal song. Whether you believe that or not, you can't deny that it is very important, and I've been wanting to make this video for a while. A few weeks ago, I just listened to a bunch of these covers, so I was like, this would be a really cool idea. It's been taking me a while to make this video for some reason, but I love the original Helter Skelter song. By far, it is the best one. If you're wondering, yes, it is still the best one, but I have 5 covers that I think, to me, are the ones that stand out from the best. I'm going to rank them 5 to 1, but first, I'm going to talk about 2 honorable mentions. The first one being Soundgarden's cover. This one is quick, but badass. The bass tone is awesome, and Kim's funny guitar fits so well over Matt Cameron's groove. With Chris's perfect vocals, I mean, it worked. It's part of a live show, so I don't know if I can officially count it, but it is pretty cool here. It's not a studio recorded one like the rest of these ones. Well, one of these ones is a live song. You guys probably know what that is, but this one is like a minute and a half long, so it's not a full cover. And then the other one is the Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson one, and Rob Zombie's vocals are just as you'd expect. You'll either love it or hate it. I like his part here, but the production of the song is just so convoluted and full. It's just so there's so much going on, and I have listened to this cover a few times. I remember listening to it like a year ago. It threw me off the first time I heard it, and still does to this day. And Marilyn Manson, I mean, not only is he just a disgusting, horrible person, but also his vocals are almost gross here. I know he has a specific style, but this was like taking that style and cranking it up to like a million. It really does not work. I have listened to this cover more than once. It's not something that will grow on me. It's really not that good overall, but let's get into the list. Coming in number 5, we have Siouxsie and the Banshees cover on their first album. Now, I have not listened to much from Siouxsie or the Banshees, I should say, but I do know a decent amount about them, and a lot of people were saying they really like this cover online, so I thought I should check it out, and yes, it totally worked. The Banshees' gothic style really helps kind of make this one unique, and it's one of those that if you like the gothic style like I do, I mean, The Cure is one of my favorite bands of all time, it'll work, and you know, those two kind of work together closely at times, but it's totally different from any other cover I've heard, and I really appreciate it for that. The way the Banshees slowly crawl into the song is really what makes it unique. As I mentioned, you will never hear another cover like this, or at least one that is this good, but because of the guitar tone and everything going on, the chanting and stuff, it's much more punk rock, but the rawness of this cover is why it made it onto this list. I really like it. Coming in number 4 is a cover from one of my favorite bands of all time. This was a B-side from Oasis in 2000, I think it was. It was one of the singles on Standing on the Shoulders of Giants, and unexpectedly, Noel sings on this one because they did some other Beatles covers, like one big one they would do live is I'm the Walrus, and Liam would sing it, but Noel really killed it on this one. I mean, I love his voice and I love him. I have a review of his recent album that will be out hopefully before this video, but this is not something I'd expect him to sing on, but it really works. Yes, it does go on for too long in the end, but it kind of fits that era of Oasis. It's not a shot at them. I love them. They're one of my favorite bands of all time, but this one was unexpectedly amazing. Coming in number 3 is U2's cover. Now, this one, I remember I listened to the first time and I was like, wow, that's cool. It's different. And then I kind of got more interested in it. I didn't know much about U2 the first time I heard it. I mean, I knew enough about them. I listened to the Joshua Tree, but then I went and listened to Achtung Baby, which is one of my favorite records of all time. That is definitely my favorite U2 record, and listened to some other ones. And then after going through and listening to a bunch of these covers, I was like, you know what? I should watch Rattle and Hum. So I did, because that's what opens this one. And I mean, it fits so well. The opening line with Bono saying this.
It's a song Charles Manson stole from the Beatles. We're stealing it back.
It's so awesome, and Bono's vocals are just killer here, and they serve so well beside the Edge's pushed single coil guitar sound. Larry Mullen Jr.'s smooth drumming is met so well by Adam Clayton's clean bass work here. I've listened to the song so many times in the past few weeks, and it really works for this band. It is different, as I said. It is totally kind of late 80s U2 style, but I love it. I think it's awesome. Coming in at number 2 is the closest one to the original. This is Aerosmith's cover. Now, I hadn't heard this one for a long time for some reason, being as Aerosmith is one of my favorite bands of all time. I was shocked I hadn't heard this one, but this is exactly as Aerosmith as you'd expect. This is definitely better than their cover of Come Together. I can tell you that by their leaps and bounds better. I'm not exactly sure when this cover was recorded because the only spot I can find it on is the Pandora's Box, like the greatest hits type thing, but I assume it would be sometime in the 70s. I assume it'd be kind of mid to late 70s, so I think that Tom Hamilton's bass being just as loud as Perry and Whitford's guitars, if all those guys were in the band at the same time, was a really nice touch, and the Screaming Demon's voice is on top as always. Steven Tyler's one of the best singers of all time, and he kills it on this track. Again, it doesn't sound like a metal song, like any type of later metal, but it still is heavier than anything that was around at the time, and Aerosmith doing it's the closest to the original. It's awesome. But my favorite cover of Helter Skelter, I have a few friends that think this is better than the original. I don't think so, but this is one that I'm like, yep, this is definitely the best cover because it still feels like it's paying homage to the original while making it their own. This is the cover from Mötley Crüe. Now you see the poster back there. It was on Shout at the Devil, ironically, and I know not everyone loves Mötley Crüe. They are one of my favorite bands of all time. Shout at the Devil is one of my favorite records of all time, and definitely from the band. And this song not only fits so well in the context of the album, but it creates this huge Mötley Crüe sound. The drumming is amazing. Vince sounds very good on this one, and nowadays they would never do this song for a few reasons, and that being one of them, but I have always loved this cover. It's different, but not different enough to kind of throw you off in a way. But this song just has such this huge sound. A lot of that is, of course, because of Tommy Lee's drumming and Nikki Sixx's bass work, which is great. I don't want to hear anything. I love them. But Mick Mars' perfect bends and squeals, everything. It just fits so well with this. It makes an already heavy song even heavier because of who did it, and this is my favorite cover. What is your favorite cover of Helter Skelter? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think any of them are as good or better than the original? I hope not, but there are people out there, and thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next time. Over and out.